INBrief with Neil Brown, partner, Federation Asset Management. Welcome, Neil.
Hi, James. Thanks for having me.
It's a great pleasure. Neil, at the Inside Network Alternatives Symposium in Sydney today, you took the audience through a case study of a successful private equity investment. At a high level, what does that life cycle look like? And are they roughly all the same?
Look, I think there'll be nuances on particular investments, but in general, a life cycle starts a long way before actually making an investment in sort of building the network and experience in particular sectors that you play in, and then focusing on opportunities in those sectors. Though from an investment perspective itself, there's the origination side of that investment that can be outreach to particular companies that you would like to deal with and make investments in, or inbound approaches from companies seeking capital. And then really similarly, a getting to know you and relationship process with that company to assess the quality of the business and the quality of the management team, and whether you have an alignment around wanting to work together and invest to help to grow in that business. There's certainly then, I guess, what we think of as the asset management side, which is the most critical one. Or one of the most critical, which is then working with the company over the period of investment to help them maximise the potential of the company, help them to execute well on the strategy, and then finally to achieve a good exit. So that would be the final aspect of our role, which is really getting the company ready to make the best exit it can with the most competitive process they can to maximise the outcomes for all of the stakeholders.
Over Federation's life of investing in companies, what are the numbers shaking out as in terms of proportionally how many opportunities do you look at versus how many you actually invest in?
Yeah, look, so we would have made 8 investments over our life to date, and we're in our 6th year of operation. So it is a quite a disciplined low number of investments that we actually execute on. There would be an opportunity that would come across the desk once a week. So we would invest in, I think it's between 2 and 5% of the things that we would look at initially.
And when supporting a company, how much involvement do you look to have? And again, is it always a little bit different? Sometimes you've got to take a bit more. Sometimes you've got to be a bit more supportive. Others might want you to be more hands-off.
Yeah, look, I think as a general rule, we're an active investor. The nature of our investing is typically putting growth capital into growing businesses. And so we'll typically be a minority investor as opposed to a control takeover sort of investor who wants to change business strategy and perform cost outs and the like. So our role is certainly taking up a position on the board so that we can be assisting in strategy. We are active. We would speak to our CEOs and management teams once a week, for example, and we also have operating partners in our networks who we often put into board roles or advisory roles within the business to assist them as well. So it really is around helping them to execute on the strategy that we've bought into.
And what are the options, and in your view, what's best practice in terms of securing funding to help your investee companies grow?
Yeah, look, I think it's like any other relationship building. It's, doing a long lead effort on the likely buyers or the likely next round of funding in the business. And so that people have come along on the journey of that business and aren't meeting you for the first time when there is a capital requirement in the business. So I think it's, that development of long lead relationships. And then I think it just comes down to business fundamentals. So if you're doing what you said you would doing what you said you would do, and meeting the targets that you'd set for yourself, then that demonstrates to the next round that they can have some certainty in the forecast of the business from there.
Federation has a significant sustainability overlay, but you're also looking for your investee businesses to grow revenue and grow profitability. Is there ever any difficulty in reconciling those two aims?
Look, I think we're first and foremost a for-profit investor, so we're seeking to make returns for our investors. I don't think in every case that the sustainability goal and the profitability goal is mutually exclusive. And our view on that is that we're really trying to look for opportunities that will have the biggest universe of potential buyers on the exit of that investee company in the 3 to 5 years that we look to hold them. And so the view there is that there is a continually growing pool and growing focus on ensuring not just the financial bottom line, but ESG bottom line as well in businesses, and diminishing number of funds or buyers who can invest in businesses that don't have that as part of a focus, be it sustainability or diversity and inclusion and those sorts of things as well. So it is a view that there will be a bigger universe of buyers for businesses that do have ESG credentials than if they don't. And so selfishly, we think you get the highest return by doing that as well.
And Neil, I'm asking everyone today, what do you think could be the greatest potential risk to markets as we move into 2024?
Well, it's an interesting one. I think it's geopolitical risk in my mind. Lots of things going on in the world at the moment. Uncertainty around an important election in the US in 2024, and what that might mean for countries' protectionism and then flow-on effects into movement of capital and liquidity and those sorts of things. So, yeah, geopolitics at the moment, I would say, is the biggest risk.
Neil Brown, partner, Federation Asset Management, thank you very much for participating in the Inside Network's Sydney Alternative Symposium 2023.
Thanks for having me, James.